So, Fantastic Four First Steps officially comes out this Friday on July 25th, 2025. It has been a crazy month for movies. You have Superman coming out, you had Jurassic World Rebirth coming out, and it's all culminating in Fantastic Four First Steps. So, a lot of people were wondering, is this movie going to be good? Is it going to be as good as Superman? Well, we got the Rotten Tomatoes reviews to prove that.
Admit.
Fantastic Four First Steps is currently at an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is an amazing score right now. Marvel Studios needs a win. They need another win, back-to-back wins, because Thunderbolts was critically a win, but it didn't do so well at the box office. I believe it had like an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. So we are getting that consistency of quality that we are so used to with Marvel Studios. What really intrigued me about this movie was, number one, I loved the 2005 Fantastic Four. I loved that movie. I don't care what you say, but it's just nostalgia for me. As a kid, I used to grow up watching these movies all the time on replay. The 2005 version, definitely not the 2015 version. I still haven't even finished that movie, to be honest with you. So when we finally got it announced that the Fantastic Four was officially coming to the MCU, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried, but I was excited at the same time because, yeah, it's been 10 years since the last Fantastic Four movie. And while I did love those original movies, not everybody else did. So it is a very good sign that the Fantastic Four First Steps, first reviews, 145 reviews, might I add, is sitting at a 86% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, it's not the official rating of if this is a good movie or not, right? This is not the end-all be-all rating of this movie. Of course, people are going to have their own opinions on it. This just means that 86% of everybody who reviewed the movie on Rotten Tomatoes that were certified liked it. So only 14% of those 145 people did not like this movie. To me, that is a win. The action is as spectacular as you would expect, which doesn't mean that it's particularly suspenseful, but the film's success lies in the fact that it puts fun back into the franchise. Finally, we have a film that clearly defines the direction of the Marvel Universe, with a cast that is as charismatic as it is effective. It delivers a straightforward and energetic story in a clean and efficient manner that stresses personality over spectacle, and which manages to retain a reasonably light and cheerful tone even when the very existence of Earth itself is in jeopardy. The space-age 60s vibe does add a little bubblegum flavor to soften any over-seriousness. Maybe it just needs a little less bickering and more clobbering time before it's MCU ready, but at least Galactus isn't a cloud this time. Fantastic Four First Steps gives the film the astonished gaze of Lee and Kirby themselves from the windows of timely comics. Without a doubt, the best film ever done by Marvel's iconic First Family, an entertaining movie that fills the big screen with different personalities, powers, and chemistry as a family while standing on its own. But of course, the Rotten Tomatoes score is not at 100%, so there are going to be some negative reviews. While there's nothing terrible about the Fantastic Four First Steps, there's also nothing inspiring about it beyond the visuals. It's not contemptible, but it's annoyingly basic stuff with fresh coats of blue and white paint. In Jump the Shark, bringing in Baby is fatal, and Fantastic Four First Steps is no exception. The plot was flat, the villain too much like Thanos, and the main four were shuffled aside for the baby. Even the anticipated look of the film was diminished by the story. Non-fan. Let's go ahead and end it on a positive note. A vibrant love letter to comic books and the first MCU film in a while that you don't need an encyclopedic knowledge of almost 20 years of films to enjoy. You'll love the First Family of Marvel, though the stakes feel potentially outsized for its first outing. Fantastic Four First Steps lives up to its title. Rather than a bold leap forward, the film is a toddler, tentatively putting one foot in front of the other. It never falls, but you can tell there's a team of Marvel execs hovering around their baby. Marvel gets back to basics and plays it really safe with Fantastic Four's third cinematic incarnation of the 21st century, in what basically comes down to a $200 million practice session of the superhero genre fundamentals. So it seems like Fantastic Four is pretty much a success. What do I think about these reviews? I'm not going to lie to you. The trailers didn't really do much for me. I love the aesthetic of the Fantastic Four First Steps. I love how they look, the actors, the visual effects, the style. I love the director since he directed WandaVision. I love what he's doing with the 4:3 aspect ratio in some of these clips. The dynamics of the characters and just playing around, they actually feel like a family. And that was my biggest concern. I really wanted these 4 actors to kind of feel like a family, feel like they actually have lived with each other for all their lives. And, Sue and Johnny are actually related. Reed is a loving husband and also his best friend, Ben Grimm. It's just, I want all of them to I wanted them to all flesh together smoothly. And that was a really big concern, I'm not going to lie, because you guys may remember this movie was in casting hell. We originally had Adam Driver attached to the project as Reed Richards. We had Margot Robbie attached. Antonio Banderas was supposed to be the voice of Galactus. And then, a bunch of different moving pieces in the casting department. So when they announced Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss-Bachrach, and Joseph Quinn, I kind of felt like they just threw them together. But it turns out that they maybe were just the best people for the project. I'm watching the movie tonight, and I am very excited for this. I will let you guys know if I like it or not. I feel like I am going to like it. MCU has been on a hot streak. This doesn't feel like, the kind of schlop that we've been getting, right? But I could be wrong. I haven't seen the movie yet. However, these first reviews, they're pointing me in the right direction that I'm gonna like this movie. So we are just gonna have to wait and see. But have you guys seen the reviews for Fantastic Four: First Steps? Are you excited to see the movie? Are you gonna see the movie? Me, I'm predicting a solid 8 out of 10, but we'll see. Maybe I get my expectations exceeded here tonight. I'm definitely going to be watching this movie twice. I'll give you guys my full review. I know I'm sorry I didn't do a Superman review. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. I didn't do a Superman review. I really liked it though. But that's enough from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you love movie stuff. We're going to be talking about movie stuff for the rest of eternity. So be sure to join us here.